Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we're going to show you how to change out the Frigidaire Dryer Control Thermistor. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new control thermistor. The control thermistor is what tells the control board what temperature the dryer is running at. The main reason you'd be changing it out is if it failed and the dryer is running at the wrong temperature. In order to get to the part, we have to remove the top of the dryer. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver and go around back to remove the screws. With the screws out of the way, we can take the top off. All you have to do is pull it back about 1/2 inch or so and lift it off the dryer and set it aside. With the top off, we can take off the access panel. It's held in by 2 Phillips screws. We're going to reach down there and take them out with our screwdriver. Once you have both screws out, you can pull the access panel out a little bit, let it drop down, and then you can pull it off the machine. With the access panel out of the way, we can remove the 2 screws that hold the bottom of the front panel on to the frame. With the top out of the way, we can disconnect these 2 wire harnesses that go to the main console. All you have to do is grab each one and press the releases and pull them apart. Once you have them both disconnected, we can feed the ends through this zip tie so we can pull them out through the front. With the wire harnesses disconnected, we're going to remove these 2 screws on each side and then 1 screw down here on each side that holds the front panel in. You want to be careful that you don't drop those down in front. If you do, we're taking the front panel off anyways, so you can get it in a minute. There's 4 retaining clips that hold the front panel on. You notice there's one right below each of the screws we just removed, and then there's one more about a foot down below each one. To release the upper panel retainers, we're going to take a putty knife and stick it through the opening between the front and the cabinet. And then we also have to lift up on this metal piece right here, because as we twist the putty knife to release that clip, we have to lift up this little locking tab. So we're going to lift up a little bit and then twist the putty knife and it should pop out. Once you have that one off, we can go do the one on the other side. You want to be careful because the lower ones will probably come out on their own. If they don't, you can use the putty knife to pop them free. But once they're free, you got to hold the panel up and support it. Once you have the panel totally off, you can set it aside. Now that we have the front bulkhead off, we have access to the control thermistor. It's located on the blower housing. We're going to use our needle nose pliers and remove the 2 wires. You want to make sure you remember where the wires go. On ours, the full blue one is right here on the right, upper, and the blue and white is kind of left and lower. Once you have the wires off, we can use our Phillips screwdriver and remove the 2 screws that hold it to the blower housing. Once you have both screws out, you can pull the control thermistor out of the blower housing. If you see any lint in there or anything, make sure you clean it out. Here's the old control thermistor next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. To put the new control thermistor in, we're going to put one of the screws into it and hold it in place with the Phillips screwdriver while we move it over and put it into the blower housing. Then we can put in the other screw. Once you have both screws tightened down, we can reconnect the wires. Remember, the blue and white one was on the left or towards the bottom, and the all blue one was on the other terminal. Now that we have the control thermistor in place, we can put the dryer back together. Now we can put the front panel on. First thing we're going to do is line up the blower housing seal down there and then push it up so the retaining clips lock it in place. Once you have the lower retainer started, you're going to have to reach in and lift up on the drum so you can push the panel in the rest of the way. Now that we have the panel mounted, we can put in all the screws and reconnect the wire harnesses. Now we can put the screws in at the bottom. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver and put in the 2 lower screws. Now we can replace the 2 upper screws that go on the inside of the cabinet. There's one on each side right above the clips. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver again. Again, you want to make sure you're careful with these screws. Use a magnetic tip if you have. Otherwise, if you drop it down there, you're going to have to go fishing for it. Now we can put the 4 screws that go across the top in. All you have to do is line up the holes and tighten them down. Now that we have all the screws in, we can reattach the wire harnesses. First thing we're going to do is feed them through this zip tie that we took them out of earlier. Once you have them both through, we can grab the other ends and match them up and slide them together. There's only one way they can go, so you can't mix them up. All you have to do is press them together so they get a good connection and lock together. Now that we have the wires reconnected up top, we can put the access panel back on. All you have to do is line these pins up with the holes and lift it up into place. And then we can use a Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in. Now that we have the access panel back in place, we can put the top of the dryer on. To put the top back on, you want to very carefully set it down so that the front of it goes right in that groove, and that the little notches are lined up with the tabs on the control panel. And then you can push it forward. With the top in place, we can use our Phillips screwdriver to put in the 2 screws that hold it in place. Now that we have the dryer put back together, we can plug it back in and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.